The Adventures of Brokedown, Chapter 2, The Maiden Voyage. The plan called for the team to bring Diana across the state via the Lost Canal, then down the Intercoastal Waterway to Miami. Still working at the time, I, Billy Bobber, was to meet the rest of the team, Captain John Blow, his brother James, Dwight, and Miguel in Fort Myers, near the entrance to the canal. I took a half a day off on that Friday, and my wife, Donna Bell, and I went to Fort Myers to await Diana's arrival. They were due no later than 5 p.m. and would contact me via their handheld VHF, as Diana had no ship's radio. 5 o'clock came with no word from the boys, and my wife and I had a lovely evening of dinner and drinks in a local establishment. We returned to the marina around dusk. Still no word. We had the good fortune of meeting a delivery captain on a Sabre 38. They had a base VHF and a state-of-the-art charting program. They offered to help contact Diana. Before long, we made contact and received a weak message. They were, of course, lost. They radioed their position provided by Captain John's handheld GPS. The delivery captain showed me their location. They were in a bad spot, way off course, and ready to run aground in the notoriously shallow waters of the west coast of Florida. We advised them to anchor for the night and that we would help guide them in the AM. Donna Bell and I found a motel. After a wonderful breakfast, Donna Bell and I returned to the marina and met up with the delivery captain. We contacted Captain Blow and gave him several waypoints to get out of harm's way and get on course to the city marina some 30 miles away. The trooper and team player, as always, Donna Bell chose to remain with me at the marina until Brokedown arrived. Arrive she did. In the early afternoon, a commanding presence, belching blue smoke as she made her way to the T-dock. Advised that the Lehman could not be shut off and lacking proper dock lines, I was obliged to sneak a quick kiss, toss my bag, pass over 2 quarts of oil, and hop on. We were off to the canal. True to form, the crew of Brokedown was provisioned with plenty of Mount Gay rum, but little motor oil, food, or supplies. Surely there must be a quaint little restaurant along the way. We made a remarkable 5 knots in spite of towing little Brokedown and an oil pressure reading on the rather low side. The engine was consuming oil at a remarkable pace, and we realized that if we did not find a store soon, we would have to shut her down and use little Brokedown to tow her. Those familiar with the canal can attest to its pristine remoteness and lack of civilization. After a couple of hours, oil pressure went to 0 and she got hot. A quick peek revealed that all of the remainder of its 13-quart capacity had been pumped into the bilge due to a loose oil line fitting that Miguel apparently missed after his 12th natural light. Miguel passed out in the engine compartment as we tied little Brokedown alongside and began towing Brokedown towards the East Coast. After another couple of hours, fuel was running low on little Brokedown when we made a cell phone call for assistance in finding a store and gas station near our location. The Leprechaun came through once again, and we were directed to a combo gas station and convenience store within walking distance of the canal bank. This was the only place within the next 20 miles. We tied to a tree, and our shore party took all fuel jugs to Bithlow and obtained 12 gallons of fuel and all the oil they had on hand, 12 quarts of Dixie Star Premium Oil 30 weight. Upon their return, we filled the layman up, tightened the fitting, and fired her up. We were on our way once again. We realized that our hopes of reaching the locks at Moorhaven were gone. Well into the night, we found a small public dock on the canal near La Belle, a small farming town. Prior to our arrival, we had contacted Donna Bell and requested that she drive 2 hours in the middle of the night to pick us up in the middle of nowhere. Being the trooper and team member she was, she did just that. Although our location was very hard to find and the locals she asked for directions were very drunk and very scary. No attention was paid to stemming the voluminous flow of water pouring in from the stuffing box, and Diane was left to fend for herself with the knowledge that her One Rule 1500 pump and her Dwight Brainy reconditioned battery would keep her afloat until part of the team was able to return. They returned in haste after receiving a call that Diana was sinking and listing at the dock. A quick check revealed thousands of gallons in the boat and the layman crankcase filled with the great waters of the canal. The team pumped her out, changed the Dixie Star oil water mixture, and set off for South Florida. I went back to work. Diana's ring eventually completed her maiden voyage with less difficulty, arriving at her new dock in Rocky Harbor, North Miami.